Hi everybody and welcome to Year 1. I'm Mrs. Bowen, Olive class teacher.
And I'm Miss Ray and I'm in Palm class, and we're really happy to have your children for this first year.
So here you can see photographs of the whole Year 1 team that we're working with your child. There's a photo of myself and also Mrs. Naheed. She is my teaching assistant in Olive class.
And in my class, I'm Miss Ray and I'm with Miss Nabila, who's working with the class. And also we have Mrs. Yurkiv, who's our deputy head. I will be doing 3 days in the class, which is Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And Mrs. Yurkiv will be doing Monday and Tuesday.
Here you'll see some photographs of the children's learning environment. This is inside the building. We do lots and lots of different things in the Year 1 building, and there's a very detailed curriculum for the children to follow, but it's a little bit similar to the early years at the beginning of the year. So there's lots of hands-on equipment and lots of hands-on learning. So that's what you can see in the photographs.
We're great believers that learning doesn't just happen in the classroom, that it happens throughout the school day, whether the children are inside or outside. And we're very lucky here. We've just had the outside redeveloped slightly. So for both playtimes, the children have great things to be doing. We have things like number squares that are snakes and ladder squares, different activities painted on the floors. We've got some lovely climbing equipment that the children can access at playtimes and lunchtimes. And we've also got goal equipment and basketball posts. So the playground is a wonderful area for the children to be in, whether we're doing PE there, in PE lessons, dedicated PE lessons, or whether we're out there playing at playtimes and lunchtimes.
We don't want you to think, however, though, that there's no green space in Year 1. There is a small nature garden at the back of the building, and we do some specific planting and looking for mini beasts and things like that as well in that environment. It's just a bit wet at the moment. Now, this may look a little bit complicated. This is a copy of the Year 1 timetable, and it covers both classes, but it'll show you really that there's such a huge variety of things and a very, very detailed curriculum that your children will be following, and it involves maths and it involves PE and music and speaking Spanish, and it's just fantastic. It's got such a wonderful variety of things that your children are going to get involved in, and we're really excited about it. Last year in the reception year, when the children were in Apple class and Willow class, they experienced Power Maths. And Power Maths is the maths scheme that we use throughout the whole of the school. So they will be continuing with Power Maths in Year 1. The biggest difference is that we try and encourage them to become a bit more independent with their maths work in Year 1. So the books are a little bit thicker. There is more responsibility upon the children to try and find their own page and eventually become very independent with their own mark book, their own workbook. But we do it all gradually and it builds up throughout the year.
We're really keen to encourage the children to do their homework for maths to strengthen their mathematical ability. And in actual fact, we've got some great websites that are specific to the children's needs. And we've sent home a pack with your logins for these sites. So we have Active Learn, we have Numberbots, and we have timetable Rockstars. The children can be very independent on these sites, and we'd really appreciate it if you could take the time, a few minutes, to log the children on, show them how to use the site. We will do that in school as well, but it's great if you could do it with them the first few times. In our experience, they get really independent really, really quickly, sometimes quicker than the adults. So they love the activities, and these activities are amazing at strengthening the skills that they need to become really successful
mathematicians.
Thank you. Really successful mathematicians. Also, we will be setting homework through the Active Learn, and the homework will be absolutely tailor-made for them. So we really encourage you to get stuck in with these apps. If you've got any problems, come to us and we'll try and help you as best we can.
Phonics. Your child has been learning phonics in reception, and probably even learning initial sounds when they're in their nursery class, if they went to nursery. Phonics is something that continues throughout the early part of school, and even some children that come to our school where English is not their first language, they will also learn phonics even if they're much older. There are lots and lots of phonics schemes, and there's lots and lots of phonics resources. You often see them even in Sainsbury's when you're shopping. There's books that you can get for your children. But this is a particular scheme that we've chosen by the Fisher Family Trust, and it's new to us. It's brand new to us as teachers, and it's brand new to the children, but it's been sort of tried and tested, and it's supposed to be very, very good. So we're very excited to be using this new scheme, and it's a whole scheme of teaching phonics and also teaching your children to learn to read. So you'll see on the photograph there's examples of the phonics booklet that the children will be using, and also the reading books that they will be using. They'll be paired up with a partner. Most of it is paired work, and yeah, we're excited and we're looking forward to getting stuck into that and helping your children become more confident readers and writers.
We're also really excited this year because we're using a new app instead of our traditional paper reading diary. It has been trialled in school already for a year with the class, and we're really excited. This reading diary that is an app is called Boom Reading. It's actually been renamed as Go Read, but you might see both those names. You download the app. Again, we've given you login details, and it's a way in which you can log at home your children's reading really quickly and simply, and you can log the books that they're reading. We are able to see all of that information. We also in school can log the books that we read with the children in school and how your children are doing with their reading. We'll also be putting a book onto Dojo once weekly that will link to the children's phonics learning. So everything is interlinked and woven together. So the phonics scheme, Go Reading, the reading diary, all links together really, really well to mean that your child has a very complete experience and one that is very coherent, so that everything is at the correct level for your child. Again, we'd really encourage you, please do log on, do start using this app. It means that we don't have problems with lost paper books and paper diaries, which can be so stressful, you know, or when the cup of coffee falls on the diary and it's wrecked. We don't have any of those issues any longer. It's all there and it builds year after year. So the children use it in year 1, year 2, year 3, which means that we can also really closely check on your child's progress and make sure that everything is going as it should be.
Absolutely. This is a slide that shows you our theme, Knowledge Organiser. That's like a new way of saying the topic that we're doing. And each term, this being the autumn term, we do a different topic. There's a different topic subject. So this is the Knowledge Organiser for this one, which is called The World with Brown Rabbit. And mainly it's a way of using a lovely story about a couple of rabbits, but it's a way of introducing the children to geography quite a lot, really, through a really lovely story and lots of fun ways of understanding maps, understanding the local area, and then looking at things wider. So looking at the UK and looking at the 4 capital cities of the UK, and then looking wider than that. This will come home as a paper copy for you to read and refer to with your child, along with a homework sheet. The picture with the star on is a homework sheet, and that is on there. There's lots of activities, even practical things that you can do, places that you can visit, practical activities you can do, like counting the bus stops that you see on your journey on your way to school. And that homework sheet goes very closely with the topic work that we're doing in school. So it all dovetails in really nicely together.
And I think it's also worth mentioning that the homework sheet is one that you can pick and choose what's appropriate at the time, because it actually lasts for the whole half term.
Yeah.
So don't feel you have to rush through it. It's very much a smorgasbord that you can just look at and decide what's appropriate for the time that you have and the activities that you're doing in your general family life. So we hope you really enjoy that. And if you feel like you want to add some activities, that's wonderful too. General expectations. It's really important that we all have a shared understanding of what is expected at school from the children. So the main thing is that we really encourage good behaviour, because that really enables their learning and boosts their learning. And we use two systems. We use Track It Lights, which is for individual learning. So if they're doing great things, it goes on the Track It Lights. If things are not going so well, that also goes on the Track It Lights. We have Pride Assembly every week, and Pride Assembly also is looking at group effort as well as individual effort. And we have termly assemblies also that sort of round up the whole term to concentrate on how a class is doing with our school ethos. Attendance is incredibly important. We learn a lot in the day, and it's really important that your child can be here as much as possible. Obviously, if they're genuinely ill, we don't want them to be in school. It wouldn't be good for them, and it wouldn't be good for us, and it wouldn't be good for the other children to be passing bugs around. But if at all possible, your child does need to be at school. It's really helpful if they're there for as many lessons as possible. Once we start missing lessons, it becomes a bit more difficult for your child, and we just want it to be the easiest progress possible that they have. On that same sort of subject, timekeeping is incredibly important. We start very, very rapidly in the morning. We have our register, and then we're straight into the day. So if you could be prompt with dropping your children off in the morning, so that we can get a good group start to the day. Your child feels part of the class. They feel ready to learn. They don't feel that they've been rushed through the door a little bit late, but they feel nice and calm, ready for the day, and they're ready to engage. PE is a really important part of our school curriculum. It's important for not only bodies but minds, and it really does help their overall learning. Physicality is so important. We have 2 PE lessons a week. It's on the timetable for you. Please, could you make sure that the children have the right clothing? It makes life so much easier, and it's appropriate at this age that they're changing for PE and that their PE clothes get washed on a regular basis. All clothing does need to be labelled. They will need something like black trainers or possibly white trainers, proper trainers that lace up, that keep their feet secure, something like black tracksuit bottoms or jogging bottoms or leggings, a polo shirt or a t-shirt, and also some form of long sleeve top to go over the top. We go out in all weathers, and you know, as long as they've got the right equipment, they will keep warm and we will keep them active. But it's really important that we have the equipment and their kit so that they can change and they can be comfortable doing their PE lessons. As I said before, I can't labour it enough.
No.
Please, please, please do label every piece of clothing the children wear, water bottles, everything that they have. If you have 30 children in a class and they all have 5 items, that's 150 items in your classroom. If they're not labelled, it's really difficult to get them back to the right person. So it doesn't matter what you use, whether you use sew-on tags, clip-on tags, whether you use a great big fat marker, everything can be labelled. We are happy to give you a fat marker if you need a fat marker at the end of the day to label things up. So do just ask if you need that. It just makes life easy, makes things run very smoothly. And it means that expensive items don't get lost. Well, we hope that that little quick zoom around how it is in year 1 has helped you. We hope that the information really eases you into the beginning of the year with your child. If you have any questions about anything, just grab us at the end of the day. Grab us at the end of the day and do just let us know. Obviously, you know, that goes for any day. If there's anything really important you need us to know, please do grab us, especially if it's something really important, either at the beginning or the end of the day. And we can either have a moment with you or we can arrange to see you. But we're excited about the year.
Yes.
The children have started brilliantly, and we are looking forward to fun times and loads of really good learning. I think that's it.
I think that's it from us.
2 tired teachers on a Friday.
See you again.
Thanks ever so much for listening.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.